and all that. Of course, one of the main concerns when we're talking about such solutions is what happens with the information that is exchanged, who owns it, how is it protected, how commercial interests are protected. And by implementing the whole thing via the e-delivery infrastructure that I will explain later, the e-freight project can ensure security, authentication, ownership, accessibility and communication while exchanging all this information. Just take a breath, and we are going to the next solution that we are proposing as a project. And this is what we call the next generation single window. It is, again, a standardized way for reporting to authorities for all modes. So when cargo enters Europe, let's say, it has, yeah, it's okay, now I will leave it like this. So the transport business system needs to report to all these authorities of the country of entry that are shown on the right. So there are mode-specific authorities: border control, customs, food, veterinary, safety and security. Currently there are various systems, various single windows that all this reporting is being done, and these are really specific single windows. But what we are proposing here is a structure where you have just one interface to do all the reporting to all these authorities. So you enter your information once at one interface, and that is administered, it is distributed to the different authorities that are, an example of them is shown here. So this is done via standardized, again, e-document, which is called the Common Reporting Schema. Now, within a national single window of one member state, there are two mechanisms, one to enable this. One is the Common Reporting Gateway, which is the interface for actually entering the information that is required. And then there is a mechanism for distributing the information to all various authorities, and that's the information exchange. I'm trying to get sorry. Okay, so this information is distributed, as I said, within the different national authorities. But what is interesting here is that the same type of national windows can exist for each member state. So the transport business really does not have to get acquainted with different systems and different for each type of mode or for each or for each member state, but it can actually do everything with one interface. What we are also suggesting is that all these windows are controlled in a way centrally by the European Commission via all these mechanisms. I'm going to go through this quickly. Again, the delivery infrastructure is the one which is... Yes. The delivery infrastructure enables this to be done with a seamless way. And now I will, and I've said this already, how this, what are the benefits really. But I will also go briefly through the e-delivery connectivity infrastructure that the e-freight project is suggesting. So what happens today within the logistics sector is that each, for instance, integrator needs to create one-to-one communication with all its business partners. There are standards, but still for each standard we need to create a separate communication lane in order to speak to our business partners. What the IFWLA project is suggesting is a mechanism which is called the IFWLA access points. You can think of it as working the same way as the email capability. So we all use email. We email all over the world. We use different sort of email providers. However, each one of us takes one address and makes a different profile configuration, and we can just use and exchange email with everybody else. This is a similar mechanism that the IFWLA project has developed for exchange of information for all modes, but also internationally. And because we realize and we appreciate that that businesses currently are using different standards, are using different ways of communication, we're not really suggesting that these should be thrown away, but we have also created mechanisms to sort of interpretation mechanisms from IFWLA and within all these different standards and existing systems that businesses use. As I said already, this is... Oh, sorry, I went back. I had to sort of speed up a little bit the presentation, but I hope that I gave you an overview of applications that are, in a way, in the future and created by this project IFWLA. Thank you very much, and I'm here to answer any questions you have.